Galaxy had many ways to end a civilization. Some empires preferred orbital bombardments. Others unleashed engineered plagues. The Dominion of Karth preferred something far simpler. They stole hope. For centuries, they had conquered worlds without firing a single shot. Instead of attacking planets, they attacked their stars. Their greatest invention, the Helios nullifier, could interrupt the nuclear fusion of a star for exactly 1 hour, just 60 minutes, long enough to plunge civilizations into panic. Long enough to force unconditional surrender. No empire had ever resisted until they reached Earth. From the bridge of the Dominion flagship, Supreme Commander Vaylor gazed at the small yellow star humans, simply called the Sun. His officers stood proudly behind him. Our target is primitive. No stellar defenses detected. No guardian fleets. No planetary shields, Vaylor smiled. Activate the Helios nullifier. A massive ring surrounding the alien flagship began to rotate. Blue arcs of energy spread across millions of kilometers of space. The sun shimmered once, then it went dark, not red, not exploding. Dark. The brilliant star that had illuminated Earth for billions of years vanished into a black sphere surrounded by a faint silver halo. Across the solar system, silence. Mercury disappeared into shadow. Mars became a frozen red ghost. Earth entered night at noon. Panic erupted instantly. Every city switched on emergency lights. Drivers stopped in the middle of highways. Children pointed toward the sky, unable to understand why midday had become midnight. Power grids surged under impossible demand. Religious leaders called for prayer. Scientists demanded answers. Within minutes, every television channel broadcast the same image, a black sun hanging over Earth. The end of the world had arrived. Or so everyone believed. Deep beneath Geneva, inside the United Earth Emergency Command Center, military officers waited for orders. The room buzzed with fear. Activate orbital defenses, prepare evacuation shelters, launch the fleet. Every suggestion was louder than the last. Then the great steel doors opened. An elderly woman walked into the room carrying nothing but a thin leather notebook. Dr. Alina Marlowe, chief stellar physicist, age 79. She looked once at the giant display showing the black sun, then quietly asked, "How long?" The Secretary General answered, 43 seconds. She nodded. So they finally did it. The room fell silent, and Admiral frowned. "You were expecting this?" Alina ignored the question. Instead, she asked another. "Has anyone contacted them?" "No." "Good." She calmly opened her notebook. Inside were handwritten notes, not calculations, not formulas, instructions, written decades earlier. She turned to the final page, read one sentence, then closed the book. The Secretary General looked at her. "What do we do?" Alina smiled, the calmest smile anyone in the room had ever seen. "We wait 30 million kilometers away." The Dominion celebrated. Sensors confirmed the impossible. Solar fusion had ceased. The sun produced no light, no heat, no nuclear activity. Exactly as designed, Commander Vaylor raised a crystal glass. "Prepare humanity's surrender." An officer laughed. "They should be desperate by now." Another replied, "They'll surrender within minutes." Instead, a transmission arrived from Earth. Vaylor activated the screen, expecting tears. Expecting threats, expecting negotiations. Instead, the elderly woman appeared. She adjusted her glasses, looked directly into the camera, and calmly said, "Please restore the sun before the timer ends." Nothing else. The transmission ended. Silence filled the bridge. Then, laughter exploded across the command deck. One officer nearly collapsed. "Before the timer ends," Vaylor smiled, "they think we're the ones in danger." Back on Earth, the darkness deepened. Global temperatures began falling. Astronomers watched in disbelief as birds became confused, flowers closed, and nocturnal animals emerged in broad daylight. Yet something even stranger appeared. Every major solar observatory reported the same anomaly. Although the sun emitted no light, something inside it was still moving. Dr. Marlowe stared at the readings, exactly as she remembered. She whispered, "You're still asleep." The Secretary General looked at her. "What does that mean?" Before Alina could answer, every computer in the command center shut down, not failed, shut down. One by one, until only a single monitor remained active. Words slowly appeared across its black screen. No one had typed them. No satellite had transmitted them. The message simply appeared. Dawn protocol monitoring. The room froze. An officer whispered, "What is Dawn Protocol?" No one answered, except Alina. She looked at the screen with quiet sadness. I hoped we'd never have to find out. 45 minutes remained, far above Earth. The black sun drifted silently through space. Then, for the briefest moment, something enormous moved beneath its dark surface. Like a giant opening one eye, the bridge of the Dominion flagship fell silent. Every long-range telescope focused on the black sun. At first, Commander Vaylor thought the movement beneath its surface was an illusion, a distortion caused by the Helios nullifier. But then it happened again. Something the size of a planet shifted beneath the dark shell surrounding the star. One officer swallowed hard. "Commander, our instruments are detecting motion inside a star?" "No, sir." He looked up, his voice trembling. "Something inside the star, back on Earth." The countdown continued, 15 minutes remaining. Across every continent, people gathered outside despite the freezing temperatures. Families held each other. Children asked questions no parent could answer. Yet the world's governments did something unexpected. There were no evacuation orders, no desperate speeches. Instead, every nation broadcast the same message: remain calm. Do not attempt to observe the sun directly if light returns suddenly. The Dominion intercepted the transmission. Commander Vaylor frowned. They're preparing, but not for surrender. Deep beneath the United Earth Observatory, Dr. Alina Marlowe unlocked a chamber that had remained sealed for nearly 60 years. Inside stood no weapon, no reactor, only a simple bronze plaque. It bore a single inscription: Dawn Protocol activated only if humanity forgets its promise. The Secretary General stared at it. What promise? Elena ran her fingers across the weathered metal. When I was 23, I met someone. The room turned toward her. Not an alien, not a human, something much older. She took a slow breath. It told us our sun wasn't chosen by chance. It was chosen because it agreed to sleep. 5 minutes remained. The Helios nullifier continued suppressing the sun's fusion. But the Dominion's sensors began reporting impossible readings. Gravity around the star was increasing, not naturally, intentionally. Space itself bent inward as though something unimaginably massive was awakening. One scientist shouted, "The nullifier is losing control." Commander Vaylor slammed his fist onto the console. "Increase power," the engineers obeyed. The great machine roared. For one heartbeat, the sun remained dark. Then, a single golden crack appeared across its surface. The countdown reached 0. The Dominion expected the sun to reignite. Instead, the black shell surrounding the star shattered like glass. Not outward, inward. Light didn't explode from the sun, it unfolded. Thousands of luminous rings emerged one after another, each larger than the last, surrounding the star like the petals of a celestial flower. At the center, two colossal eyes opened. Entire fleets froze. The sun looked back, not with anger, with awareness. Every Dominion computer shut down instantly. Their weapons powered off. Their engines fell silent. Across millions of kilometers, every artificial intelligence displayed the same message. Stellar Guardian Online, a voice echoed through every ship. Ancient, calm. Powerful enough to make even seasoned commanders feel small. "Who has interrupted my rest?" No one answered. No one could, on Earth, Doctor. Marlowe stepped onto the observatory roof and looked toward the radiant being surrounding the sun. She smiled softly. "Good morning." The colossal guardian turned its gaze toward Earth. The impossible pressure filling the solar system vanished. Its voice became gentle. "Caretakers confirmed. Promise remembered." Commander Vaylor stared in disbelief. "Caretakers, Doctor." Marlowe opened a direct channel. "Thousands of years ago, your civilization learned how to control stars. Ours learned something different. We learned how to protect one." The alien commander could barely speak. "You built that?" Elena shook her head. "No, we were trusted with it," she continued. The first starfaring civilization discovered a living stellar intelligence wandering a dying galaxy. It wasn't a weapon. It was the last guardian of naturally born stars. It was exhausted. So, it chose to sleep. It asked only one thing: find a world that values life more than power. She looked toward Earth. Our ancestors accepted. For generations, we became its caretakers. The Guardian's immense form slowly folded back into the heart of the sun. Before disappearing, it looked toward the Dominion fleet. Power without wisdom always reaches beyond its understanding. The words echoed across every communication network in the galaxy. Then, the Guardian released a single pulse of golden light. The Helios nullifier dissolved into shimmering dust, not destroyed, simply erased as though it had never existed. The sun blazed once again. Warmth returned to Earth. Daylight swept across oceans, mountains, and cities. People everywhere cheered as the familiar golden light touched their faces. Commander Vaylor lowered his head. For the first time in Dominion history, we were the ones who needed saving. Dr. Marlowe smiled. That's why we warned you. You thought we feared losing our son. She looked toward the brilliant star now shining peacefully above Earth. We feared waking our oldest friend. Days later, the Dominion returned to Earth, not with warships, with diplomats. Their first treaty contained only one request. May we learn why humanity was trusted? Earth accepted. Not because it sought influence, but because trust, once shared, grows stronger. Years later, every student in the Galactic Academy learned about the event known as the Hour of Darkness. The lesson wasn't about military power or superior technology. It was about humility, because the greatest mistake in history wasn't turning off a star. It was believing that everything in the universe existed to be controlled. Some things exist only to be protected, and on one small blue world. Humanity had remembered that truth long before the rest of the galaxy.